Well, starting with the back side of this now, we're looking more at reminding ourselves about zero exponents, negative exponents, and so on. So I'm going to pick an assortment of these just to make sure we're good to go. 7 to the 0, 1. Boom. Now we got another one. We see stuff like this happen from time to time. So I'm going to focus my attention on the zero exponents first. And I guess I can do a couple of them. Something like this, also equal to 1. It doesn't matter if it's a fraction. Raised to the 0 power, it's equal to 1. Doesn't matter if it is negative. Negative raised to the 0 power, also equal to 1. 0 wipes it out. But be careful, because you run into something that looks like this. It's not just 1. Now, that may sound like a contradiction. This is 1. But this is a 9 that's separate from the 0 exponent. So technically that would be a 9 times 1, which then ultimately becomes a 9. So same thing here. It's going to be 11. This is going to be 1/3. Okay, the 11 becomes the 1, and you're left with the fraction out in front. So 1 happens to everything that's raised to the 0 power, but not every one of these is going to be, this is 1/3 times 1, so it becomes 1/3. So not everything is completely raised to the 0 power, so pay attention to the parentheses. Something that looks like this, 4 to the negative 3rd power. That negative means that this fraction, it was sort of a hidden fraction, means it's misplaced. This thing is misplaced within the fraction. So that needs to then travel downstairs here and become just, a normal expression, positive exponent that then needs to be simplified. Okay, that basically becomes a 1/4 to the positive 3rd, and then we go through that operation. 4 to the 3rd we know is 64. So the answer is 64 with our work in progress sort of floating in the sky there. That is when you take a normal number and raise it to the negative power. Take a fraction, raise it to a negative power. The negative has the same effect on both the top and the bottom. So you flip-flop those. You got a 2/3 squared. Now, okay, so the 3/2 became a 2/3. The negative became a positive. Now you square both items. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. And that's what we're looking at. Okay. You go through that same process with something like, something like this. You got your negative exponent. It doesn't flip everything. Some people want to multiply first and then flip everything. Well, don't do that. That negative means take this 1/8, turn it into an 8/1, or just 8, and then multiply. So now, it's to the first power. Everything's to the first power if it doesn't have another power. So then that is 48. Something like this we had on our last quiz. People tried to connect these guys too much too soon. This portion is raised to the negative power. So what we're going to do is take the 4 separate from everything, and then this is going to get moved down below, and this becomes 2 to the 5th power. 2 to the 5th is 32. So you have 4/32 that can now be reduced to 1/8. So it's a process. Usually there's steps to be taken, something like this. Flip it over and square it. It becomes 10/1. Then you square it. Then you've got your 1/2. That's 100. And half of 100 is 50. All right. Thanks for coming.